Porgera students petition Barrick on royalty payments. Number 1 Savings and Loan Society hold first AGM. And Momis describes Rio Tinto move as evil.
This is National EMTV News with Hope Imaka.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. This is Friday's news. Students from the special mining lease at Porgera Mine are petitioning Barrick New Guinea Limited over delayed royalty payments. In a news conference today, the Porgera Third Generation Youth Association alleged that Barrick has been illegally keeping the funds, which are purposely for school fees. They say students are now affected, with many suspended and more turned away by education institutions.
After acting as bystanders for the past 10 years, students in the special mining lease at Porgera Mine are now coming out to speak for themselves. They claim the 10% royalty payment is being held illegally by developer Barrick New Guinea.
No petition with that generation mikari raunia, ne mas kam togi mistrate we kai no sen mi olimosem. E me ki mosen mi olimosem, e mas ki mogo tapane so report.
The association heads question why Barrick has not released the royalty payments since 2005. In accordance with the MOU signed, they believe the funds should be kept in the Porgera SML Landowners Children's Investment Fund and not somewhere else.
Disla pasien to release money. Disla emno money blabla volume. Control money blabla. Money blabla must start inside la account blabla yet. Or trusts blabla must manage the payment fees blabla.
The fight to secure these funds has also landed in the courts, with Barrick told to pay these landowners in 2014 and 15. But in 2016, parents are witnessing their children being denied access to classes and most withdrawing from the schools due to non-payment of fees.
Also, delay time to release the money, making people kind of assembler lose interest of school, making assembler losing school and run away, making assembler repeat the same grade. Because it's the legal issue here.
The students want the funds transferred into the trust account, Barrick to provide a financial statement from 2005 to 2016 and specify names of people managing the funds, including where these funds are parked now.
People are paying 50% loan. Half of our parents are paying. Half of student trust are paying. So I know what pay coming yet now, or people are making one, or some all students are miss out.
400 students in the SML area are being affected.
My education is my right.
Jack Lapave, Junior National, EMTV News.
Enga Province is embarking on a development partnership with the Australian government to deliver services to its people. Governor Sir Peter Ipatas said the province is setting its agenda, and the partnership with Australia is one way of achieving development goals for the province. The governor announced this today during a groundbreaking ceremony officiated by Australian High Commissioner Bruce Davis.
The presence of the Australian High Commissioner Bruce Davis in Enga signifies a strong partnership between the province and Australia. Enga Province, like other provinces throughout the country, is setting development as its #1 agenda, and the partnership with the Australian government through its AUSAID program is one way the province will achieve its development goals. Yesterday, the Australian High Commissioner launched a 6 million kina project at Sopas Nesin College in the Wabek district. The project includes 2 dormitories and a student mess. Commissioner Davis said the Australian government is keen on developing the health and education sector in the country. He said it is inspiring for Enga Province to have invested heavily into these sectors, and the support from Australia complements the efforts of the Enga provincial government.
We find it really very, very inspiring that we can come in a small way and back the work that you're doing yourselves. We think that that's an important way in which we can work with you, partner with you, and share with you the very, very important opportunities that are already in evidence courtesy of your own work.
Enga Governor Sir Peter Ipatas said with education being the driving force of developing Enga, the health sector has been slowly developing in the last 5 years. He said the partnership with Australia signals for greater development and changes throughout Enga province.
Enga has been waiting for an opportunity to partner Australia in its efforts to deliver services in this province. I am very happy to see the Australian government makes its presence felt in Enga to assist us and partner us in education as well as health.
Such developments like the new dormitories and mess facility for the nursing students of SOPAS is paving the way for the nursing college to be a top learning institute in the country. Governor Ipatas believes Enga province can one day lead in the training of nurses and doctors, and with the help of the Australian government, that might happen in the near future.
We excel in education. We have a lot more work to do, but I think this country is saying that we are moving in the right direction. It does not mean that we have achieved much. We have a long way to go, but at least the country recognizes that Enga has now come of age.
Stanley Ove Jr., National EMTV News.
The Supreme Court today refused bids by the Prime Minister Peter O'Neill, Finance Minister James Marape and Southern Highlands Governor William Powie to join as parties in Don Pollier's vote of no confidence application. The three-man Supreme Court bench comprising Chief Justice Sir Salamo Injia, Deputy Chief Justice Sir Gibbs Salika and Justice Colin McKyle said these parties are not relevant to the case. The matter has been adjourned to July 6th for substantive hearing. Parties to the application are Pollier versus the Parliament Speaker, Deputy Speaker and Parliament Clerk. A man from Madang province has been admitted to the Lae International Hospital after receiving wounds on his shoulders and bruises on his body when he jumped out of a moving vehicle. He is the key witness for the state in the murder of Dr. Alphonse Rongup on Saturday night. Lae Metropolitan Commander Chief Superintendent Anthony Wagambi said late this afternoon that he was the one that late doctor had dropped off when the fatal attack happened. Police say relatives of the late Dr. Rongup picked up the victim yesterday morning at his house at the Back Road area. Reasons behind his kidnap are not known. Police investigations are monitoring his progress at the hospital and will compile a full report as soon as the victim has recovered and is in a better position to talk to police. The Lae Metropolitan Commander is concerned that this attack on the state witness may have an effect on the investigation, as it was through him that the prime suspects were identified. A week-long workshop on basic human rights concluded today with 15 police officers graduating with certificates. The training focused on how police officers should treat suspects when they are arrested and detained. It is aimed at protecting the rights of accused persons, particularly the juveniles.
The workshop was conducted by the UN Office of the High Commission of Human Rights. It looked at improving skills of police officers on the proper approaches of enforcing laws. It involved theory lessons and practical exercises.
Very important. What we are doing here is we are working with 15 police officers, including trainers of the Bomana Police Training College, and we are working on some draft material on human rights.
This is by far the first training on human rights, and the UN office is looking at introducing HR courses at the Bomana Police Training College. Many times the rights of suspects are not taken into consideration when they are arrested or detained. Thus, this workshop is a measure the Royal Papua New Guinea Constabulary is taking to ensure suspects' rights are observed.
A strong focus on victims also, because the discussion needs to be victim-centered. It's all about also protecting, preventing things to happen.
The second training on human rights will be conducted in the coming weeks. Takla Gunga, National EMTV News.
National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. The number one Savings and Loan Society will be holding its first annual general meeting next week. Established in 2010, the society now has about 16,000 members and a total member deposit of 32 million kina. Despite the challenging financial situation, membership is increasing and so are the loan applications.
Manager of the Number One Savings and Loan Society, Mai San Valentin, said Number One Savings and Loan Society is registered under the Savings and Loan Society Act 2015 and the Companies Act of 1997. The total membership base now stands at 16,000 and the society is targeting 17,000 members by the end of the year.
Primarily, the objectives of savings and loan is to provide short-term financial needs for the members, and as well as to inculcate to the members the attitude of thriftiness and savings, and to give some financial literacy to the members.
Number One Super Chief Manager Member Services Charlie Gilichibi urged members of the Savings and Loan Society to attend the first AGM next week.
We encourage all members to attend AGM. This is the very first AGM that Number One Savings and Loan Society is conducting. We currently have 40 members having confirmed their attendance. We need another at least 100 or 200 more members to come. So.
We will have to introduce our directors, interim directors, and some committees for interim as well. And we will have to report to the member some financial and operations report.
Mr. Gilichibi announced that a new system will be launched on the 11th of July to effectively serve the society and its members.
With the new system, we will be launching in about 2 weeks from now, which is 11th of July. The system will be able to have an electronic workflow. We will be able to service members via SMS and smartphone applications, as well as online application. The system is also integrated to an accounting package. So everything that flows from transactions from members also flows into the accounting package. Cuts out all the manual work. It's very easy to handle and extract reports as and when required.
Some of the products of the Number One Savings and Loan Society are the Savings Account, the Christmas Club, and the School Fee Club. Deli Waigeno, National EMTV News.
A share sale agreement has allowed the state's business arm, Petroleum Holdings Limited, to own the oil and gas interest and assets of the Petroleum PNG Holdings Limited. Managing Director Wapu Song says these assets have been transferred under the Kumul consolidation agenda and governing laws to create more investments and business opportunities. As of today, these assets will only be managed by single entities. Fabian Haklitz reports.
Petroleum PNG Holdings Limited has transferred its final oil and gas assets that will be managed by single entities.
And we will have single sort of entities looking after petroleum asset under Kumu Petroleum, and we will have one single entity looking after mineral assets in Kumu Mineral.
Under the Kumul consolidation policy, oil and gas assets in different agencies must be under a single entity. All parties and stakeholders in the oil and minerals sector will abide under this new law.
International oil and gas companies and mineral companies will then have to just deal with one single entity, whether it be upstream, downstream, midstream, in all aspects of.
2 assets transferred were the Ada Oil with its subsidiary, the PNG LNG. All issued shares in the Ada Oil Limited were also purchased.
On the Moran PDL 5, it's 20.5%, but the Moran unitized PDL 5 and PDL 2, it's 11.275.
Upon the acquisition of Ada Oil Limited, Kumul Petroleum Holdings Limited is a participation in the PDL 5 Moran and will have to increase interest in the PNG LNG project by 0.2%.
A 0.2% interest under Kumul LNG entity called Kumul LNG that was also there, so it comes across, and it will be part of the PNG LNG project interest for the state.
The transfer of Petroleum's oil and gas interest is part of the national government's agenda to manage the mineral and petroleum-related investments. Fabian Hakelitz, National MTV News.
The Umbrella Landowner Association, last to first, PNG LNG Equity Holdings Limited, has called on the government to honor its commitment by lending the 4.22% equity to landowners. This is part of the 2009 Kokopo Umbrella Benefit Sharing Agreement, under which the state agreed to offer the interest as commercial equity before the 30th of June. The equity option is an undivided and fixed 25.75% shareholding as granted by the state to affected landowners and provinces. Erica Rupma with this report.
The option exercise notice indicated that 4.22% equity in the PNG LNG project follows the Umbrella Benefit Sharing Agreement entered into by the government and landowners in the 2009 Kokopo Accord.
In that agreement, PNG government has a promise and signed agreement with the affected landowners and the provincial governments to participate 4.22% equity be given as a commercial term.
Under Schedule 1 and 2 of the notice, last to first Papua PNG LNG Equity Holdings Limited is the nominee of the affected landowners and provinces to secure the commercial equity currently held by the state through Croton Number 2 and its associates.
We have been secured 1.5 billion US dollar to pay off 4.22% equity that has been allocated to landowners and the provincial governments.
Its preferred option is to finance the undivided and fixed 25.75% shareholding in Croton through Cumulus Holdings Limited, which they have secured 1.5 billion US dollars equivalent to 4.5 billion kina from foreign investors. Landowners and provincial government within these tenement areas have been given 6 months to exercise this option, which had lapsed yesterday.
Those who has put in very tireless effort in securing the funds, we are with you. We will work with you to make sure that the arrangement with the financiers is all agreeable in the spirit of our UBSA and LBBSA agreements.
In light of this, they are calling on the government, especially the Prime Minister and ministers, to honor the UBSA agreement.
Department of Treasury, Department of Mining and Petroleum, Gas Office, Kumul Petroleum. The system must now come together to assist the landowners. They have not depended on the government to find the money. They have found the money.
Under the UBSA agreement, this commercial option is a price tag of US $240 million, equivalent to 720 million kina, which each shareholder has a 1% share in it. Eric Arupman, National MTV News.
Teachers Savings and Loan Society has launched a finance company called the Tisa Community Finance. The finance company was established to give members the opportunity to access a range of financial solutions at affordable interest rates. Tisa Community Finance is a wholly owned subsidiary of the society, and the members of the society are the beneficiaries.
The long-awaited Tisa Community Finance was finally launched last night in style at the Crown Plaza. Chief Executive Officer of Tisa, Michael Koisen, said Tisa needed to respond to the need for affordable, convenient and accessible financial services. He said the National Research Institute recently released an issue paper acknowledging the extremely high cost of finance in PNG. Mr. Koisen said it's no secret that the financial services sector is driven by profit. However, in his experience, he said finance companies can make a profit without being greedy.
TISA has proven that you can put some heart into finance and banking and still be profitable. Our launch of TISA Community Finance tonight is testimony of just that.
Tisa board chairman Gabriel Tisa said the idea to establish a finance company dated back some 8 years when members of Tisa expressed their desire for Tisa to provide additional financial solutions at an affordable price.
Tisa Community Finance. It's a finance company for the people, by the people, directed by Papua New Guineans and managed by Papua New Guineans.
Tisa Community Finance CEO Richard Busby said the company is well placed to support the government's SME and small business strategy and agenda, which is aimed at ensuring that 450,000 Papua New Guineans own their own businesses by 2031. The company aims to provide new financial solutions to both members and non-members of the society at reasonable interest rates. It will also provide financial inclusion by extending financial services through the society's existing branch network throughout PNG. Tisa Community Finance will become fully operational in a few weeks' time. Deli Waigeno, National, EMTV News.
And now looking at our finance news, the kina closed unchanged at $0.3160 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, your kina was buying $0.3085, $0.4109 Australian dollars, $0.2749 euro, and 31.48 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold, coffee, and copper closed higher, while cocoa closed the day lower. Palm oil, crude oil, and copper closed the day higher. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed at 235.31 points higher, the ASX closed at 11.82 points higher, and the All Ordinaries closed at 15.4 points higher. National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Renovation to the Boroko police station cells in Port Moresby is 80% complete. NCD and Central Divisional Commander Sylvester Kalaut is confident the cells will be ready to use come August. The cells were condemned by the NCD Health Services in March.
This is the first time in years the cell blocks have been renovated to such a magnitude. This footage shows the work progress on the renovation inside the cell blocks. So far, the walls have been painted and the broken pipes fixed. It will take 4 more weeks before the cells can be used again.
The company responsible is AP Engineering. They've done a tremendous job. It's almost 3 months now, and the cells they're about 85% complete. Okay, the next phase of work will be on the roof, where we will remove all the roofing iron and we'll put new scissor plus the roofing iron. We'll also put the Atmos on the roof as well, so that it is reinforced in terms of making it more secure.
This footage taken in March shows the conditions of the cell blocks before the renovation. There were no lights along the corridor and water leaking through the walls. The Boroko cell blocks holds up to 200 detainees in a day, but because 4 of the 9 cell blocks that hold male detainees were closed due to escape attempts, only 5 were used for over 6 months.
But as it is, the cell, I'm really happy with the work so far, and I'd like to thank Mr. Baki and the 2 deputies for helping the command to at least give some funding for this work to be undertaken. They've done a great job, and we're looking at about end of this month to have it reopened, or early next month.
These cell blocks will be used once the renovation is completed. At the moment, the accused persons charged for summary offences are being held at the bodily cells, while those charged for criminal offences locked up at Waigani. Thekla Gunga, National EMTV News.
Central students from Unitec say they will return to the university for classes once their safety is guaranteed. The students who were evacuated by their governor, Kila Hauda, and the central leaders are thankful that they are home. President Aro Aikari said they would only return to class only when their safety is guaranteed.
Happy and relieved to be miles away from the Leh Unitec campus, Central Students and Staff Association Secretary Dika Dawa was thankful for the central government in assisting her and 78 other Central students to return home. President of CPSSA, R. Akaira, said the brutal killing of a student came as a shock to students and something they were not prepared for. He said that the situation was tense and that their safety was not guaranteed. Akari said until their safety is guaranteed, the chances of them returning to class is slim.
Especially to go and be educated, but right now our safety is of paramount importance. If we don't feel safe in our lecture rooms or in our school campus, we don't want to risk our lives by going back until and unless everything is settled and we'll go back attend classes.
Meanwhile, Central Governor Kila Hauda has thanked the families and United Church in Leh who helped the students. He said that UOG Central students had been evacuated and it was sad to see the same for Leh Unitec students.
Bring Golkar students home on behalf of the members of Parliament. At that instant, I took the decision that the students from Leh should come home immediately as well, because we already knew that the administration was advising that all the students should go home.
Adelaide Zirks, Kari National, MTV News.
Agriculture-based landowner group Laka Forest Limited recently presented 15 boats to ease transport difficulties for people at the furthest end of Namatanai district in the New Ireland province. The lack of proper roads and bridges has left communities no choice but to use sea transport for health services, to conduct church programs and support schools in logistics. Laka Chief Executive Walter Schnobelt visited Kandas and Waitin villages to deliver the boats and engines.
It was a joyous moment for communities in Kabosiela and Waitin who welcomed the 15 boats with great hype. For these people, transport has been the only source to access health services, education and others.
Road me, right. I must play some road me start bushi karamabim. So maybe say some solwara.
Prior in receiving these boats, people walk for hours because of lack of proper roads. For most communities, banana boats play a crucial role in helping people access basic services.
Transport problem, pleasant side lo olman very. Sabla lapu no sabla liang pla time transport arablong kamlo usikan. All that cholo please.
Laka Forest Development Limited is the local landowner company at the forefront to establish the Conagil oil pump project through a partnership with developer Million Plus Corporation. Laka's board of directors will manage the boat's operations.
Yes, am I right? You walk money logan, lokari passenger. Am you right? That's all. Time mama got sick, beginning got sick. You carry on free, go house sick.
The boats will be distributed to each ward council with sub-health centers and schools given the top priority.
And cost of 232,000 kina. And 24,000 kina plus the one per boat.
Late last year, a similar presentation was done for wards in Kandas and Lak. The recent presentation now brings to a total of 15 banana boats.
But yeah, long-term plan. And medium-term plan, and also short-term plan, that's all.
Jack Lapava Jr. National, MTV News.
With police curfew at UPNG, the university grounds are deserted after students left the campus. It has been 9 weeks since the boycotting of classes began. Meanwhile, NCD Metropolitan Superintendent Ben Turi has welcomed investigations into the clash between students and police on the 8th of June.
Students have been vacating the campus all week, while the Southern Highland students have been waiting on their governor, William Poi, to send them home. Access into the campus was restricted by remains of 2 burnt uniforms vehicles. This morning, the burnt vehicles have been removed and staff have returned to the campus. Meanwhile, Metropolitan Superintendent Ben Turi has welcomed the Commission of Inquiry into the shooting of the students.
All this will be revealed and doctor's report. So everybody will be in a commission of inquiry. We will tell the truth what happened and where did they get the shots with a bullet wound. Is it a bullet wound or from shrapnel or stampede? All this will be revealed. Okay, so as Metsup, who was there at the time, we welcome this commission of inquiry and we're ready to face the commission of inquiry and tell the truth, nothing but the truth, that what happened on the 8th of June. So
he also said that on-campus curfew set up is draining police resources in the nation's capital.
And you look at 40 from NCD command, that's about 5 from each station, and the rest will be from mobile squad, but we're using all our recruits. All our mobile squad are based in Megraka. And so then we divided into half, maybe say 20 for a day and another 20 for a night.
The UPNG Council and Administration is yet to give an update on the situation of UPNG academic year. The UPNG Council and Administration is yet to give an update on the situation of the UPNG academic year. Adelaide Xerox Curry, National EMTV News.
Over 500 students of 22 schools in Leh District celebrated Children's Cultural Festival for the first time in Morobe. These young people, regardless of their cultural backgrounds, all dressed up in Morobe traditional costumes, displaying the diversity of the province. Morobe Governor Kelly Naru officiated at the festival at the Sir Ignatius Kilage Stadium.
The Sir Ignatius Kilage Stadium was almost full with more than 800 people witnessing the Children's Biangayam Cultural Festival. 22 primary schools, including an elementary school in Leh, participated in this event to promote, preserve and showcase the diverse cultures of Morobe Province. The event is organized by the Provincial Division for Sports and Culture to develop pride in the young about traditional Morobe culture. The event celebrated today is the Children's Biangayam Cultural Festival. The words Biangayam is a combination of Morobe's 2 major languages, Kote and Yabim. Biang in Kote means good, while Ngayam in Yabim also means good. So the celebration simply means Children's Good Cultural Festival. All 22 schools took pride in showcasing dances and attires from the 9 districts of Morobe. Among the 22 primary schools taking part, Uenville Elementary School was the only elementary school that participated. The elementary school was the first to take control of the arena with the Garaine dance from Bulolo district.
We feel nice local style. Stage na present item na castanta friends blooming.
With the province being highlighted with incidents following the recent students' protest, this festival aims to encourage the breaking down of cultural barriers among the young people of Morobe. Leh resident students from different provinces proudly exposed the Morobean culture. Nemaya Nakai, a grade 8 student from East Sepik, says his participation in the festival has helped him to know the different cultures of Morobe.
First time I put the kind of program to me mangilo participate. I'm good to time participate from the Sawe local sana. Customers me
Julie Badwi Owa, National EMTV News, Leh.
Trukai Sport is next. I'll have all the details after this break.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. NCD Boxing has been running trial matches at the Sports Inn to select a possible team for this year's PNG Games in Kimbe. The final team will be selected when the association hosts a competition at the Aquatic Centre prior to the Games. Godwin Eki reports.
NCD boxers are currently training under coach Mark Kettle for their club competitions. The competitions held at the Sports Inn are used as trial matches to select the possible team for NCD, and the final bouts to be hosted at the Tarama Aquatic Centre to select the best team that will travel to Kimbe in November. Coach Marketo says athletes are all attending training sessions and competitions, and with so many good fighters on board, selecting the final team will be difficult.
For Team NCD, we are looking at a full team, which is for male is from 49 up to super heavyweight, which is 91 plus. That's about 10 boxers for male, and female as well is I think 8 boxers. Yeah, that's which is 48 up to maybe 75.
Meanwhile, Team NCD representative from the NCD Sports Desk, Kasu Temu, says all sporting codes are well into their preparations with respective sporting codes.
As soon as we select our final team, we could probably make arrangements with the HPTC, the High Performance Training Center, which we could use their facilities to train our athletes, the boxers especially.
Hila Dick also highlighted sponsorship for the team, saying help will be needed from NCD Governor and other corporate houses for individual sporting codes to help assist cover transport and logistics for Team NCD.
Our estimated cost for our team to go over is between 2 to 2 million kina. So it's a memo task on our shoulders as the general team manager and team management officials with Team NCD.
Godwineki, National MTV Sports.
Up to 95 sport enthusiasts from government offices in the Pacific, 11 sport federations and physical education teachers will be participating in the Oceania Sport Education Program in Port Moresby. The sports education program is scheduled for the 4th of July to the 14th. The program is supported by the PNG Sports Foundation and is coordinated through the PNG Olympic Committee.
OSCP is a program under the Oceania National Olympic Committee, which delivers training courses that include the Master Educator, Educator Managing in Sport, Organizations, Sport and Community Administration, and Community Coaching and Officiating. The training is expected to develop in-country master educators and educators with high levels of presentation and assessment skills who can deliver and assess these courses. Successful completion of this training will certify graduates as OSEP Master Educators and Educators. The training will run at different venues, with the main one being at the Sir John Guy's Indoor Complex Conference Room. The others include the Taurama Aquatic Center and the Rita Flynn Indoor Conference Rooms. The National Sports Federation represented includes swimming with 9 candidates, handball, badminton, volleyball, basketball, netball, triathlon, disability sports, softball, rugby union, football and cricket. OSCP mentor Talema Waka will be the facilitator for the training. Co-facilitating will be OSCP Master Educators Sanimili Talatoka, Tirani John Susuve and Janet Gimots. The participants will be addressed formally at the welcome event next Monday at 9 a.m. at the Sir John Guy's Indoor Complex. Shane Saroya, National MTV Sports.
To football, the growing popularity of the Port Moresby School's football program reached new heights today thanks to Lay Biscuit Company. The program has divisions for students ranging from under 6 through to under 14. It is seen as a development platform for football stars.
Fabian Chow, the general manager of the Lay Biscuit Company, presented the funds in a small ceremony, acknowledging the importance of developing the future football players in the country.
Soccer is one of the key sports that has always captured the imagination of the young people. You just need a ball and kick around. And moving up to that next level, I think that having it in a structured competition over 16 weeks is great, because it allows you to have that training and discipline through the school's network.
Chow, a former football administrator himself, said the sponsorship would go into assisting with the general administration of the school's football program. Currently, that particular program has been focused on small-sided games held weekly at the Rita Flynn courts in Port Moresby. And while it is focused on the nation's capital at the moment, its interim management said that the program has the potential to be rolled out nationwide. After the success of the men's and women's national football teams in both the Pacific Games and the recent Oceania Nations Cup, talk has been for more youth participation throughout the country. Jeremy Moggy, National EMTV Sports.
Trukai Sports continues after the break. Don't go away.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome back. Australian swimmers Mark Horton and Jack McLaughlin have made history in Australian swimming after they qualified in the 1500-meter freestyle, following in the footsteps of their mentors and heroes Hackett and Perkins. The duo is now part of the Dolphins swim team and are months away from the 2016 Rio Olympics. Godwin Eki reports.
Two of Australia's fastest swimmers in the pool in the men's 1500 freestyle, Mark Horton and Jack McLaughlin, have qualified and will be joining the Dolphins team for the Rio Olympics. Both swimmers have been praised by many who watched both their races in the pool, saying they are the ones to look out for at the Rio Games. After impressing their fans, the pair and the rest of the team will continue their preparations.
Real medal contenders in Rio.
It was in the 1500 race that some of the biggest names in the history of Australian swimming were made, who carried the legacy to where it is now, were Grant Hackett and Kieran Perkins, who both won medals in the men's 1500-meter freestyle.
King of the pool on this night.
To be honest, I'm working on the little things at the moment, like my turns, and according to the data that I have from my race at trials, there is still quite a lot I can take off, and it's the Olympic Games, so anything can really happen. So I'm confident in my abilities, and hopefully I can get there.
One of the new talents is Jack McLaughlin, who became a specialist to the 1500-meter freestyle only last year and now has big reasons to smile away come the Rio Olympics.
Sick in your stomach, kind of, and yeah, I just half shut my eyes and just trying to hang on. But, you know, pacing throughout the race, you just have to get a steady rhythm going in the first couple of hundred, and then, you know, from there it's basically just focusing on every stroke and trying to maintain that rhythm through the whole race.
Both swimmers are a month away from the Rio Games, and training is one of their biggest priorities in order for both to impress the Australian audience. Godwin Eki, National EMTV Sports.
Gold Coast Titans winger Nene McDonald remains hopeful on teammate and countryman David Mead's one-year contract renewal with Gold Coast after several NRL clubs expressed interest in the Titans winger. NRL clubs, including Manly Sea Eagles and English Super League clubs, have put their hand up to sign the 27-year-old when he made no secret of his desire to play his beloved fullback role.
While there have been talks with other clubs, the Kumul's Flyers deal with the Titans hangs in the balance. Countryman Nene McDonald says Mead is a big contributing factor to the team and brings the spark whenever he runs onto the field. And it will be great to have him re-signed with the club he grew up playing in. After a successful run with the Kumul side that made the headlines down in Fiji in the recent Pacific Test in Melbourne, the electric running back has been sidelined due to knee injury he picked up during Titans' Round 10 clash with Sydney Roosters. However, after his visit to PNG, Mead has made progressive recovery after his knee rehabilitation and is expected to return to action sooner than later. Meanwhile, McDonald wants to continue his good form when he marks up against Warriors' danger man Tuimola Lolohea in New Zealand on Saturday afternoon. McDonald, 22, has been in superb form for the Titans in the recent weeks and is hoping to keep a clean sheet after the match against Camera Raiders, where all 5 tries were conceded. McDonald will forgo the fullback role at the expense of co-captain William Zillman and will link up with regular centre Josh Hoffman. Towering at 197 centimeters tall, the Kumul's winger is progressively becoming a devastating ball runner, and his instinct in attacking aerial crossfield kicks have been the halfback target.
Nene McDonald running up his hooker.
Shane Saroya, National EMTV Sports.
That ends Trukai Sports. I'll have the weather details for the next 24 hours after these short messages.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
Your weather forecast for the next 24 hours. In the southern region, fine for all centres. In the Momasa region, showers for Lae, Showers then progressing to storms for Madang, Wewak and Vanimo. In the New Guinea Islands region, showers progressive to storms for all centres. And in the Highlands region, showers then morning fog for all centres. And that's the news, sports and weather for tonight. On behalf of the news team, I'm Hope Imaka. Pleasant viewing. Good night.